What's up guys, today I've got something special for you. I'm going to lose my dignity and I'm going to upgrade to Windows 8. Now I've got quite a powerful machine and I play a lot of games, so what I'm going to do today is see whether Windows 8 actually runs those games faster than Windows 7. So I've just done a few benchmarks in Windows 7, and then as you can see over here we're just starting the upgrade to Windows 8, so I'll let you know how it goes. I've just actually bought Windows 8 now, so it's just downloading. It's about 2 gig download, so it shouldn't take too long. But I thought I'd just explain to you why I'm doing it really. I don't have any touch stuff, I'm a proper gamer. I've got a rig here with an i5 2500K, slightly overclocked at 3.6, and we've got a GTX 680 in there. The theory of it, to be honest, is that there shouldn't really be any difference at all. Obviously, that's why I'm testing it. But the main reason really I'm upgrading is just because the boot time is meant to be twice as quick. It's a really light OS, so it should boot really quickly. I'm running on a solid state drive, and I timed it the other day and it took about 50 seconds. And that's for everything to be proper responsive, so there's not any worries there. Right guys, all the files have now been copied across, and we're ready to install Windows. One thing I strongly recommend though before you go installing Windows is to have one of these. You can buy a Windows 8 DVD for an extra 15 quid, or you can burn it yourself. So once you've downloaded all the files, and once it's checked them all, you have the option to create a disk image. So create the disk image, which doesn't take very long, pop in the DVD, find the file, click burn disk image, and verify disk after burning, why not, and then just click burn. So we're installing Windows 8 Pro, and we're keeping Windows settings, personal files and applications. Installing Windows 8. Let's see how long it takes. Right, what's up guys? You may have noticed that it's a new day, by the fact I'm wearing a new t-shirt. But it's a new day and I've had a couple hours with Windows 8. Installation was a breeze. There's no problem at all. Yep, let's open up Sleeping Dogs and then let's run the benchmark. Okay. All games ran absolutely fine. Origin has encountered a serious problem and must close. Oh, hold on. No. And then there was no errors whatsoever. No, I'm just joking. Actually, I was very surprised. I had serious problems with Windows 8. Games just wouldn't open. Menu would start deleting itself. Things like the store would disappear. You know, critical areas, games wouldn't run. And in the end, what I had to do a clean install. So everything you see here, let's log in. Everything you see here is actually fresh and clean. But to be honest, if you know what you're doing, you should really do that anyway. Because now everything runs absolutely fine. You see I've got quite a few windows and tabs open here. I've got Steam running. Games will, they should play just fine. I've been playing some Smite earlier, and that works absolutely fine. And everything there works fine. So now we can actually move on to some of the tests and see whether games actually will run any better in Windows 8. Alright guys, so we're in Skyrim now. We've just done a benchmark and we averaged 105 frames per second, which is very good. Just running it now and we're getting 67 frames per second. So it seems that it does vary, but there are some graphical mods on, and we're in an area with a lot of trees. But it's very good. I mean, it's the same, to be honest, as it was in Windows 7. It varies quite a lot for me in Skyrim. So we're getting 80 now. So yeah, if you want to play Skyrim, Windows 8 is absolutely fine. Right, what's up guys? We're just running the Sleeping Dogs benchmark again. We've got all this from Windows 7, so this is actually going to be the fairest comparison we have, because unfortunately in the clean install we may and when I say may, I mean we have actually lost the Fraps benchmarks that I tested on Windows 7. So I'm sorry about that, guys. There's nothing really I can do about that now. This is going to be the fairest way of doing it, so let's see how this benchmark goes. Currently sitting at 85, and this is one of the more intense bits of the benchmark. Settings are exactly the same as they were in Windows 7. If you haven't played Sleeping Dogs, I would recommend it, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it at full price, plainly just because there's not actually that much lifespan to it. Once you've completed it, there's not really that much left you can do. It got a score of 82, I believe. I can check that for you in my reviews. It actually got 85%. I'm wrong there, sorry. So it's a really good open world game. There's plenty to do, but once you've done it, there's not really any incentive to come back like there is in GTA or in Saints Row the Third. And here's the Windows Smash coming up. Any second. I know it's it. I know. I'm good. Okay, so here we go. Benchmark complete. Average frames per second was 78.8. Maximum was 119, and the minimum was 49.3. Let's see how that compares, shall we? Okay, guys. Well, this is actually very interesting. The average we got in Windows 8 was 78.8, as you know. But when you come to Windows 7, the benchmark I got was actually 68.9. Now that is very interesting. Obviously, it could be, it could just be different circumstances because there are different applications and things open. But there is a fair difference, and it is quite a light OS. So it would appear that if there is a change, then it's a positive one. So that's good. I'm pleased with that result actually. Okay, guys. So we've had a look at a few games. And unfortunately, while we lost some of the benchmarks, what we have learned is that while you probably won't anyway see any difference, if you do, then it's likely to be a positive one, like we saw in Sleeping Dogs. I can give an update if that's what you guys want. Give you some more Windows 8 benchmarks if that's what you're after. Would I recommend Windows 8? I'm going to do another video. I'm going to go into the features of Windows 8, but if you were to ask me whether I would tell you to upgrade, I would say I wouldn't rush into it. I mean, I personally, I didn't mind. I didn't mind having to clean install. It was a little bit annoying, but doing the clean install once in a while was good for the computer anyway, and it gave me a chance to sort a few settings around with the actual computer and the SSD, which actually makes it run quicker anyway now than it did before. But that's about it. I do like Windows 8. When it works, which from the clean install I haven't had any major problems with. There's a couple of issues, but that's just nothing major, and that's just due to NVIDIA and their FXAA. But you can turn that off, and it's not essential, so there's no real problem at all. The user interface is actually nice. Everything is speedier. You can do a lot more with what you want, and actually there's a really good app that I'll show you in my next video. That comes with Windows 8 that let you configure your keyboard and mouse if you've got compatible stuff. That's unique to Windows 8. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it's a nice little feature there. So, would I recommend it? If you've got a strong interest in Windows 8, I'd say go for it. But make sure, whatever you do, because if I hadn't done this, I would have been absolutely screwed. Make sure, for God's sake, you do a Windows 8 burn the ISO to DVD, because if I didn't have this, then I would have had. Well, I just had to go back to Windows 7, and then if I would have to then go and re-download Windows 8. Oh God, re-download Windows 8 and then start all from the beginning. But I'm going to actually do it with the little. I won't reveal it all, but write the product key on the back, and you're good to go. So if you're interested, be prepared to do a clean install. And to be honest, if you're interested, I would recommend doing a clean install anyway. Okay, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope this gave you a bit of insight into how gaming is on Windows 8.